All right, we're going to start with 672 divided by 8. So I'm going to take 672, which is my dividend, and divide it by my divisor, which is 8. Take a look at these steps over here. They can help us as we go through the problem. Make sure you have them memorized. So we divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So first we take 8 and we see, does it go into 6? Can we do 6 divided by 8? And we know we can't because 8 is greater than 6. So then we take a look at the next digit. Does 8 go into 67? I know that it does, and I know it goes in there 8 times. Next, I'm going to multiply 8 times 8, which is 64. And what that means is 8 goes into 67 8 times, and it equals 64. So now we're going to subtract, and 7 minus 4 is 3. 6 minus 6 is 0. And the next step you can see here is to bring down. So I bring down my next digit, which is a 2. 8 goes into 32. How many times? What is 32 divided by 8? I know that's 4. 8 times 4 is 32. And when I subtract, I get 0. So what that means is 8 goes into 672 84 times with nothing left over, which is awesome. So let's take a look at the second problem. I know this one does have a remainder, so we're going to see how we write that now that we are in 6th grade. We're going to find the quotient, which we know is the answer to a division problem, of 9,216 and 150. So that's a different way of writing a problem. You can see it just says find the quotient of 9,216 and 150. And then we gave you a hint of how you would write that. You would put the first number as the dividend and the second number as the divisor. So how that would look on paper would be like this. All right, this is a little bit different than what we're used to. These are these numbers do have more digits, but it's the same exact process. So we're going to see how many times does 150 go into 9? Well, it doesn't. How many times does 150 go into 92? We also know it doesn't. How many times does 150 go into 921? And we know that we can figure that out. This is the stage where a lot of us get stressed and we feel a little bit anxious because these aren't facts that we know off the top of our head. But if you just use your number sense, I promise you can figure it out. So we know that 150 times 2 would be 300. So if we double that and we do 150 times 4, that would be 600. If we added another 150, that would be 750. If we added another 150, that would be 900. That's as close as I'm going to get. So I know 150 goes into 921 6 times and it equals 900. So that was my multiplication step. So now I subtract. I end up with 21. My next step is to bring down 216. So how many times does 150 go into 216? Well, I know that 150 times 2 is 300. That's too large, so it is only going to go in there one time. I'm going to multiply. 150 times 1 is 150, and subtract. I will have to borrow, and I'm going to end up with 66. I have nothing left to bring down, so that becomes my remainder. And from teaching 4th and 5th grade, I know that we used to write it as 61 remainder 66. But now that we're in 6th grade, we actually write our remainder as a fraction. So we take our remainder, which is 66, and we put that over our divisor, which is 150. So our final answer is right here. Our quotient would be 61 and 66 150ths. You guys are going to continue working on these, do your try it problems, and make sure you have these steps written down somewhere.